Okay, let's go on number 1. Don't just make the text bigger, highlight or emphasize. Use font weights, cases or dark shades of color instead. What does it mean says, you see, round dog, this is the name of the product, black, grey and lighter grey. So there are 3 different shades they have used. So it's good idea to play with single or 2 colors. Try to keep the highlighted font a little bigger, and vice versa. If I compare it with the design 2, you see why. Okay, I'll keep it. This is also for text field. It says that not to keep more than 9 words in a description. Whenever you are writing descriptions, try to make it little small so that person can read it. Followed by, nowadays you see a lot of patterns like Facebook and maybe LinkedIn also is coming up with a pattern of highlighting the first context started with an image. So what happens whenever you look at the website or product or any of the social media platforms, they'll start with an image first, because we all know that image are recalled for a longer period of time. It's in fact 50%. Text we recall only 10%. And whatever we do practically, we can recall up to 100%. So that is why images have been used on the number 1. So now what he's saying, image, you'll always remember the image first, followed by a bold dark color name, a little small in turn, and then the basic description of that person. Right, it is also written 9 words per line. It is the best recommendation that we should use. Now, if you're trying to make a responsive website, that means the same website is going to open in your mobile phone. So you have to make sure the button that you are using is a minimum 40 to 50 megapixel broader. Because a research by MIT says that a human finger size is 16 to 20 mm. So you have to make sure that my finger is easily get pressed when I am using a mobile website. It could be a mobile application or anything else, but you have to make sure about this. When we have mouse and we just scroll on our website, everywhere we can see a cursor moving on our website. But when it comes to the responsive website, the cursor won't be there. So we have to make sure that our button is pretty evident and visible enough that a person from afar can understand, okay, what does this button means to say, and I have to click over here. It is similar to the design 3 that we have recently discussed. If I come on this, if I see this on my website, I'm making a user little confused because my primary and secondary color are both in the red. This is making me confused. Whereas if I look at this design, this is telling me that this is the primary key, primary button, and the primary highlighted button is in red, secondary button is in white. So it's a contradictory of these 2 colors. Okay, what does it saying? Start the download. Okay, we will deduct $2 from your mobile domet wallet and email you the movie tickets. So as a product owner, I want the user should come on my product and download this thing, right? So what I will do is I'll make sure that I'll keep my primary key in red, because red is most attractive color. That is why if you see aeroplanes on a very high, if they are from the floor, we can see, oh, there's an aeroplane going on. Why? How? Because they have a sparkling red light which keeps on beaming, and we know that it's a high frequency light. That is why an eye-catchy. Slide number 6. A very common thing. I have seen this similar design in Myntra. So design 1 and design 2, what they are saying is, it's not a good idea to use a drop-down menu to show colors. If you want a drop-down menu, it is a good idea if you have more than 7 options. If you have more than 7 options, then this is a good idea. However, for a customer's quick purchasing, we would recommend to show the colors, all the colors. If you have less than 5 options, try to show them over here itself. Oh, I'll see the image yellow. I wish it could be in green. Oh yes, we have green. If he'll see this color here only, the chances will be he'll buy this product as compared to here. Because here the information is hidden, right? So an additional click is happening over here. Whereas in this, no additional click is going on. So comparison between infinite scrolling, you might have seen in lot of, the example of Twitter is given, or lot of social media websites like Facebook, you keep on scrolling And there are a lot of news websites and apps also where you keep on scrolling and infinite data keeps on popping up. So this is a good idea where you don't want your user to end up. Sites like Twitter, as mentioned, infinite scrolling is really good. But where we want a target audience, where I don't want my user to get confused, I'll use the option of pagination. Here the option of Amazon is given. Let's see. You have, I want to buy a mouse. I'll take an example of mouse, right? I'll search mouse. If Amazon started giving me an infinite options, I'll be confused because I have so much infinite options I have, so I'll never be able to end up purchasing. Whereas if I give the concrete information, that is, I'll tell him there are 20 pages and on each pages there is, let's say, 2 images. So altogether there are 40 products. So it's easy for me to go on to see the 40 products and make a decision and finally buy it as compared to going on the infinite loop. So based on the product and the style that we are making, we can easily define our pagination or infinite scrolling. One is the dense placement and one is distributed placement. So they are saying the similar word. Similar over here is delete button and spam button. If both of the buttons are somewhat giving the similar output, we would try to keep them in the same colors. Vice versa, if we want users to have more engagement, so we keep on distributed placement, which is like favorite and delete. These are two opposite, right? You can keep it red and green, whatsoever colors you want to give. This is a similar color, this is non-similar colors. That is the difference based on your website and things. Slide number 9. Okay, so you might have seen a lot of time what happened whenever we go to a payment gateway where we are about to do a checkout. We see credit card. This is very common. So if I give this option, it will be difficult for my customers to make a choice. As mentioned very early, the nudge theory will make sure that we give him predefined instructions, right? We'll make sure we by default select any of these. We can do debit or credit card as depending upon my website, what I want my users to do. Credit card and debit card. And now there is also a research beside why a credit card is on the top as compared to debit card. Okay, if I keep a debit card on the top and a user doesn't have money in his debit card, he'll say, oh, I don't have money. He might skip, right? He may not move ahead. Vice versa, if I give him an option of credit card and open the credit card so that he can just directly fill the details, no story will say, oh yeah, credit card, I have credit card, I have balance credit card, but I want this product. He'll fill that details. We never realize that why this credit card option is there on the top and why these buttons are always kept open. It is just for our convenience. This looks very lame, very dull. It's definitely giving me all the information. Let's say this is our menus. If I say these are the menus, so I would recommend to use the icons. We all know incognito window icon is this because Google is very famous. New tab. You can see similar icons are being given based on the patterns and icons that we are seeing. So in this I have to read the whole sentence. Over here I'll see the icon and I'll just click on the buttons. So it's more attractive, informative.